皆さん、いい腕前ですね。
ちょっと眠くなっちゃったわ。そろそろ目を閉じて夢の中で会いましょう。
See you tomorrow, Amphoreus.
Perhaps it's time to pick up my old love for weaving again.
Intelligentsia Guild. Sounds.
As darkness falls, I see your tears when we say goodbye. Watching stars as we drift apart. A touch, a glance, fly away.
Can we please keep going like this forever? turn over this eternal page.
Stronger, Lord Finan or General NGUvoilN?
Can we please keep going like this forever? Can we please keep going like this forever?
Amphoreus, a world winner.
You might want to check where you're standing.
Maybe you're looking for some psychoanalytic therapy. Welcome to Dreamscape Sandstorm. Maybe you're looking for some psychoanalytic therapy.
Can we please keep going like this forever?
immortals. As darkness falls, I see your tears when we say goodbye. Watching stars as we drift on by. A touch, a glance.
Stay strong. Eyes forward. Always.
Will our paths converge 'neath the sun?
See you tomorrow, Amphoreus.
Melody sung beyond the stars tonight. We share with sweet songs whisper.
Are you ready? This is going to be a very, very long story.
You are a tiny seed in the boundless dark. Your face is sculpted again and again, but when a ray of light breaks through, the Stellaron unravels your fate. Since that moment, you were meant to be a soul. At some point, you awake once more as a dead seed. This is a tomb crafted by the body to trap the soul.
Heart?
Before being dragged back into the sinful loop by tongues of fire, the singing fairy guides the kind traveler to the Membrance Maze, soft and full of color, a peaceful, beautiful place to return to. In the ice cave of memory, rainbows, clouds, and flames, you find yourself wanting to hear more from her. And so, you begin to take root. Memory's flowers blossom with it. You come to understand more. New thoughts, deeper feelings. Your palms grow soft. Each meeting carries thousands of years of longing. You see the exhaustion in her quiet steps through the... At the final meeting, she entrusts you with her Cyrene. The ripples of past reverie carry romantic poems back through time. When you finally escape the cage, your heart no longer knows emptiness.
Ma'am?
As the memory's flower withers, it bears a fruit shaped like a... You lose yourself, forgetting even the name you were given. The remembrance's messenger takes your hand through blooming gardens and hushed galleries. A shooting star flashes by.
Mimi!
The story unfolds beneath the dome. They cast their gaze into the coffin of memory.
Mimi.
Oryx gives you your new name, but your quick-witted partner prefers teasing you with nicknames. She walks beside you on this journey. The Chrysos heirs and titans, the flame chase and deliverance. This is the adventure you've been waiting to find. You find Strife's weakness, seal the black-robed swordsman in the ruins of a past life. You, too, tread in the grove, gurgling, almost drowning.
Just erase this from your mind quickly.
The Chrysos heirs of the flame chase somehow feel familiar. Swallows soar through the open skies. By the story's end, the dark clouds consume every trace of light. All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle. Hatred flares from the heart of the blazing sun, and though only ripples of past reverie remain,
May the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff.
here lies Ides Elysiae, Cyrene's most beloved sanctuary. Forever warm, forever gentle. Turn the clock once more. People gather under the banner of the fling chase, and
How do I begin to write you into a story?
with her own hand, the ruler writes.
I love the world, just as it loves me.
Between hearty swigs, The night murmurs under her breath, but time will not pause for feasting. You inscribe beauty on the weaver's gravestone.
The shore on the other side will watch over the next life.
With a hopeful heart, the maiden walks into the chill of the dark. The cat is not fond of warmth, and quietly slips away from your intrusions. The physician who bears a love for mortals wishes for you to look up and behold the rainbow's light. You say farewell to all, in a world aching with wounds.
荒野と怪人の中からオムニックの投影が
フィリア093、愛に属していた電気信号。
光が宇宙の果てへと旅する間に愛は多くの名前を持つ。
変数
けれどあんたの瞳に映った星空は確かにそれとは違う答えを投げ、長く待ち続けたあんたのもとについに彼らが現れた。故郷の麦畑をそっと揺らすようにそよ風が長すぎた孤独を拭う。しかし烈日の背後にはそれは理性の計算を終わらせ、そしてあんたは戻った。でももう迷うことはない。愛は過去のさざ波、記憶の詩が
お疲れ様。ここからは私に任せてちょうだい。花の香りが漂う西風の彼方で一輪の花をたおった私は振り返った。オンパロスっていう長い物語の抜け落ちた章はどれだったかしら。あったわ、オンパロス。あなたはとても美しいわね。まるで世界から隔絶された悲劇のよう。だから願ったの。あなたが記憶の鏡に照らされますようにって。そうしたら銀河はきっとその光を見つけて終わりのない輪に一つの当点を打ってくれるはずだから。そしてあなたを見つけたの。記憶の回廊のことまだ覚えてるかしら。私たちが初めて出会った場所よ。私願ったのよ。あなたに魔法のペンをあげるって。コツンって運命の音を奏でてこの世界での旅路を見守っててねって。それにあなたも見つけたわ。綺麗ね。ライコスから真実を聞いて心配してるわよね。でもあなたならきっと勇気ある決断を下すって信じてるわ。そして願ったの。残った力をあなたに託したいって。その力で過去に戻って悲しいけれど美しい費用を旅へ一緒に迎えますようにってね。なんだか疲れちゃった。まぶたが重くてくっつきそう。どこかにコロンって横になって明日が来るまでぐっすり眠りたい。そうだわねえキレね。あなた言ってたわよね。ふわふわしてて色にあふれた穏やかで心が和む場所があるって。それってどこにあるの？あら ここだったのね。西風の果てでお花を摘んできたと思ったけど、いつの間にか一粒の種になっちゃったみたい。じゃあ最後のお願いしちゃおうかしら。迷路迷宮、私にあなたの姿は見えないの。だからお願い、この種から早く出てきてちょうだい。きっとすくすく育っていつかたくさんの花を咲かせる大きな木になるわね。木はドレミファソラシって歌いながら妖精の少女がやってくるのを待つの。少女はそこで初めての作品を書くことになるわ。終わりが始まりを生むように、やがて花が開き、何時も散りゆこう。これをあなたに捧げるわ。この本を開いてみて。過去で待ってるから。その時になったら私の名前を思い出してほしいの。もちろんそこに込められた変わらない意味もね。キュレネは過去のさざ波。私のことを愛で覚えてる？そして永遠に忘れられない詩を胸に、あなたの明日へと歩んでいこう。君は家族や友、黄金戦争が終わり、僕たちはある黄金栄の話を。あの者は暗黒の潮の風を切り裂き、
私みたいな戦士は
出征した黄金栄たち。
私たちは金融詩人たちを。
詩人たちは子供の予言に
鋭い剣は持っていないが、
そして数年後、
私たちに会いたいよ。
故郷を去った時、
私たちは人々の苦しみと向き合う。
長い年月の中、さよなら、さよなら、さよなら。奥平魔の丘の上には、残った子供たちは手をつなぎ、子供たちは少女の服を軽く引っ張る。
私たちの予言を聞いてほしいんだ。
少女は糸をそっとつまむ。
一緒に火種を追いましょう。約束します。
まかれた犬種は必ず報われる。個室。優しい母親は静かに夢を訪れ、そして彼女は静かに遠ざかっていく。タイタンの短足、支離滅裂な動揺。これが長い夢の始まり。狭い部屋の中、時間は積み上がり、彼女の20年間の記憶を作り上げ、子供は時々わからなくなった。その問いに母は、だが運命の光は権力の暗闇を、犯人は完璧に成し遂げたと思っていただろうが、しかし最後の希望とぬくもりだ。孤独は子供の夜に悪夢をもたらす。子供はぬいぐるみを強く抱きしめて問う。
あなたはずっと私のそばにいてくれるよね。
オロニクスは小さく嘆くと、タイタンはこの悲劇をまとって生まれた子を気に入り、タ タイタンの弱々しい忠告は、
人々は一人と別れを告げ、そのものだけが奇跡を目にすることになる。
花びらが舞う生徒、しかし行く先で光っている場所。荘厳な議員に響く喧騒はやまない。
わしは恐れる。
久遠の昔、聖女が万邦に最初の神託をもたらした。
皆さん、扉からの声を聞いてください。
彼女は神の名において人々に希望を届けるのだろう。
それはこう告げました。神々を覆せ。
彼女は過去の旅を記憶している。大地は彼らのために轟き渡り、片方にはタイタンの火種。
迷わないでください、我が師よ。
黄金の折り手は彼女の涙を拭った。
それはこう告げました。
荘厳な議員に響く喧騒はやまない。
諦めるのだ。今の生活が変わらないことを祈る。
今の争いは、子供は迷いを断ち切り、彼女は幾千万もの門と見、子供たちは街中に飛んでいき、住民の信仰心を温めようとした。
怖がらないで。私たちが皆さんを新しい家に連れて行ってあげます。
トリビー様、トリノン様、もう泣かないで。
心配しなくてもいいのよ。
夫人は子供の涙を拭い、
それはこう告げました。真剣を背負えと。トリノンは一番物静かな子。元気なトリアンは一番騒がしい子。
民衆の激励は真心を呈し、そして子供は理解した。過去から未来に至るまで温かな光が差し込む門と道は、
それはこう告げました。親戚を起こせと。
勝つのは誰だろうか。頭角を現黒と白の軍団が戦場で相まみえ、
ストラテゴスが自らを危険にさらすような愚行に走るとは。
覇者はそういう。
盤上では皇帝も駒の一つだ。皇帝が先陣を切らねば誰が従いたいと思うのだ。
彼女、勝つのは誰だろうか。1000年の間虚妄の憎しみが争いに火をつけ、黎明の石壁が猛攻の中で揺れ動く。
わしらを救えるのは親戚だけじゃ。
臆病な言論は閉じこもり、怯えた市民はひざまずいて祈った。
うろたえるな。親戚は目前に迫っている。
波、勝つのは誰だろうか。城を救い偉業を成したストラテ歯が落ち、元老の命を奪った。
今日この時から僕が生徒に公平をもたらしてみせよう。
人々は彼女の尊名を呼び、地にひれ伏そうとしたが、杖が地面を叩く音に止められる。
僕の冠より下に頭を下げるな。
そして彼女は、勝つのは誰だろうか。
公害！カイザーからのお達しだ！
最早期の偉大な計画に惹かれたのか、はたまた王の威厳に感服したのか。ヨモの勇士たちがカイザーのもとに集った。旅立ちの日、鮮やかな旗が空を覆い、 人々は同盟を結んだ戦軍バンバを仰ぎ見る。その瞳にはその対局の幕切れについて学者の間では意見。無敵のカイザーは頂で消え、燃える冠は湖の底に沈んだ。世の人々はこう言った。
無敵の皇帝でさえやはり宿命には抗えないのじゃな。
だが彼女はこう返した。
宿命との戦いにおいて公正さが存在したことがあったか。
あの時黄金戦争の波は、その地の王女は自由に遊び回るのが好きな彼女はある日使用人の目を盗んで、そこには一つの盤と一組の駒、そして奇妙な女性が一人。
一曲どうだい？まともにやり合えたらあんたを友と認めてやろう。
その怪しげな人物の声はかすれていた。
もし僕に勝てたらお前を師匠と呼んでやってもいい。
そう豪語したものの、王女は盤に触れたことすらなかった。まずはルーク、ナイト、キングにビショップ。
よし、これでもう学ぶものはなくなった。
あどけなさが抜け始めた頃、王女は初めて競技場へと出向いた。彼女はあの奇妙な死の言葉を思い出した。そして黄金戦争の波は、オクヘイマの民はある君主を迎えた。カイザーと呼ばれるその人物は、一人でチェスを指すことを何よりも好んで、神狩りの幕が上がるたびに彼女の脳裏には
一人でチェスを指すなんて寂しくないのか。
あの頃の王女にはしかし、君主となった今ならわかる。烈火のごとく広がる日和の勢いと、君主の背後には常に騒乱を好む心外。ある噂によれば暴政を振るうカイザーは、だがその真相は謎だ。
ああ、それなら僕が自ら判決を下した。
カイザーは淡々と言った。
僕の死は父と兄によって囚われた。彼女の祖国は盟約に背いた。法によって裁かれるべきだ。だが
王女が彼女の遺品を整理している時、その瞬間、あの奇妙な人物のかすれた
死よ、これが僕に残した最後の一曲か。
王女は幾度も遠い記憶の中にあるあの質問のこと、カイザーの軍隊が初めて北の大地へと入り、高所から投げられた石が少女の王冠に当たり、少女が手を伸ばした先は傾いた王冠ではなく、震える子供、それも転んだその子を起こすためであった。数日後、金織は驚くことになる。黄金の血を流す英雄たちは、これが神の仕組んだ関係。そして
剣気鏡、銀風鏡、剣石鏡、断法鏡、東輪鏡。聞きたまえ。僕は今日ルビコン川を越えよう。英雄たちの力を集結させ、神殺しの偉業をなすのだ。
火種の半数はすでに彼女の掌中にあった。
それ
カイザーは英雄たちと話し合い、春巡の末その後を追うのをやめた。断砲の戦士は大勝する。
我が王は正面からの策略に長けているが、記述には10面を作る。
カイザーは笑った。
おそらく猫の匂いを嫌ってピュエロスにでも引きこもっているのだろう。
彼らが日々を共にしてからまださほど歳月。
王の道とは孤独なものだ。いずれ皆
酔いが回り始めて席を立った後、
僕と一杯飲もう。親愛なる進化よ。
沈黙を先に破ったのはカイザーだった。間もなく誕生する壊滅、そして
なるほど、これが僕の立ち向かうべき古き世界。
盤上でキング同士が、
僕は奥平魔の王だ。古き法を薪のように割り、
これこそがカイザーの生涯の真珠。
我が輩は夢を見た。カイザーの彫像が容易の祭壇の前に立ち、そして独裁者はいずれ突然の死によって人生を終える。彼女は夜明け前に死を迎えることになる。
カイザーに爵位を剥奪された貴族。
私たちはあなたの越権行為を認めてないからね。いい？今から神託が示した征伐の道はまばゆい光に満ちてるけど、ごめんなさい。それでも私たちはあなたの運命鏡？その呼び方嫌いじゃないよ。
ヤヌサポリスの司祭、聖女、神託を授かりし者。
一つ忠告させてください。あなたの命は法の凋落とともに終わりへ確認しますが、私たちの取引は、ああ、さすがです。共にこの嫌気がさす演算を終わらせましょ
う。オンパロスの神霊の慣習、カイザーの共謀者リュクルゴスはそう言った。
カイザーは日追いの盟友を裏切った。あの暴君にふさわしい最後を与えたのも私だ。全ての罪と汚れを洗い落とせ。そして光の届かない深海で。だが誰が彼女の偉業を称えるのか。
海洋の末裔。
僕の生涯を正しく記録するのだ。かつて銀風教に頼んだ時と同じように書け。カイザーは何のために死に、僕は罪を認める道へと足を踏み入れ、神に勝つための布石はすでに打った。残りの局面は
生徒で唯一のカイザーケルドラはそう言葉を残した。勝つのは果たしてどちらだろうか。源宮の森に住む猿と移住。
オンパロスの名において
王は無期の玉座を前に、勝つのは果たしてどちらだろうか。北条のアイオーンに仕える不死。ポーンは主張を言おうとして、
オンパロスの名において尽きぬ命に永遠の眠りを授けよう。
泉州が送った総会を、勝つのは果たしてどちらだろうか。壊滅のアイオーンが伴ううごめ、政界すら滅ぼす力を前にして、
オンパロスの名において壊滅に壊滅を授けよう。
王の火種は破滅の炎になり変わり、 勝つのは果たしてどちらだろうか。軍政の怒りが大挙して
オンパロスの名において
聖冠を吹く風は敵の余人を吹き払い、
僕は天外の星空も征服し、軍政をすべて我が属国としよ
う。カイザーは微笑をこらえて最後の一手を打ち、運命に飛び込むその前夜、
根性の分は間もなく終局だ。
燃えたぎるその野心のため、勝つのは果たしてどちらだろう。
勝つのは僕、そしてオンパロスだ。
The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates. The priests of Yanis listen to the prophecies.
Mother, teach me how to...
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid. Listen carefully. The future they want is in the past.
Really? In the past?
The child sank into a peaceful slumber until the masses crying out amidst the flames of war were swept away by the sounds of sharp swords locking.
Mother, usurper, assassinate the divine body.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid. Go to sleep. The ending they want is yet to be born.
Really? Not here yet?
The child continues to sleep, waiting for the next waking dream. And when they opened their eyes, 2 of the 3 fates who once received offerings.
Mother! I'm already all alone.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out in the mirror.
Just wait. The stars that illuminate the night will visit in the end.
Like gentle moonlight. The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates, within the inescapable dreamscape. The flower stems nourished by the black tide.
Mother!
But this time, they didn't receive a response, like the silence of the Evernight. Days and nights passed. The years turned.
Waiting. Hate waiting.
They watched over the slumbering sprite, but a fleeting mirage flickers in the mirror. The shining stars and the lights of the home.
Wake up! Our familiar old friends have already arrived.
Like the newborn dawn. My friend, have you heard of the Rosy Celestial Maiden? Whether in a corner of the archives, or in the depths of a cave, she had hair like a rosy pink dawn. Some say she was Nikador's nemesis, while others say Nestia was infatuated with her. Oh, mysterious and beautiful Celestial Maiden. Many claim to have seen that Celestial Maiden.
She once whispered in my ear.
She once saved my life.
She gifted me an ice crystal!
Her worshippers recite her deeds. Curious poets ask up and down the land. In the entire holy city, there are none who can provide proof of her existence. It is not known since when the Celestial Maiden was always mentioned together with time. People recite her name during prayer, to beg for miracles to appear faster.
They still didn't pick me!
Don't forget the healer of Twilight. Has a head of pink hair. She's a descendant of the sky.
Scholars and poets discuss at length the origins of the rosy celestial maiden. That princess came from beyond the sky. Her shooting star, like crystal ice, pierced the fog of the Veil of Evernight. She made friends with the Titan, and whenever the month of Evernight descended, they would meet again. The children loved that tale, but someone always questions.
There are no worlds beyond the sky. Rosy celestial maiden, a world beyond the sky.
The reckless adventurer takes out the photos. The citizens laugh at this tale. After all, long before the guests beyond the sky arrive. So, my friend, have you really heard of the rosy celestial maiden?
Before arriving at Amphoreus, our last stop was DänG's homeland, a place called CİNH.
CİNH is just a general term. This starship is called the LI꽤U.
I had some wonderful times there practicing swordplay.
I'd say the sword. It can cleave a mountain in half.
You've been watching too many Immersia.
I've been working my butt off just to avoid using a bow.
Come on, let's become weapon masters together.
To master a skill... Looking back now, those days were really fulfilling.
No pain, no gain. Am I right?
Between sword practice sessions, I occasionally hit up the food stalls in Arum Alley to recharge with some delicious eats. Hard work pays off. This girl's been up at the crack of dawn every day, and finally defeated countless formidable foes.
I can testify. March really did defeat countless training dummies.
Those wooden dummies aren't exactly easy to break. It takes real skill. Every hero's story needs a villain. And when it comes to the great heroine March 7th's nemesis, it's definitely gotta be Scott.
Rather than a freight skiff, maybe an IPC eco ship would suit him better?
Why?
After all, he's got a knack for talking like animals.
During the decisive battle, I defeated Scott with my epic move, Star Shatter Shard Supreme!
Did you actually master that move?
Well, naming moves doesn't cost anything. There's still some space left, and...
The floor is yours, Master DänG.
Don't be ridiculous. It's clearly DänG's brother here.
As I thought, March has some hidden powers there too.
In memory of our first trailblaze together.
On average, we got a wanted poster for every 3 planets we visited.
If I could have used my hidden powers back then, they wouldn't have dared to draw me this ugly.
When both players in hide and seek are experts, it will turn into a contest of who can last longer without food.
On the day the overworld and underworld were connected, I too took a seat on the first cable car. The chairs were so hard that day, my butt was killing me. For the sake of walking smoothly towards tomorrow, we sealed away the truth of the decisive battle. The juice that day was delicious.
That's Jim Roger bread soda.
And what's with that March 7th themed blue and pink color in there?
That's just food coloring.
Hey, you two! Don't ruin the nostalgic mood! Visiting Eurillo again for the Soulworm Festival, I put on some pretty clothes specially for the occasion. Oh, look! Don't I look like a princess?
So that's how you've seen yourself all this time.
I want to change my clothes and become a devil too.
Little ice bear. A sweet little Snow White ice bear.
I think I saw it in Pinnacle. Hey, why don't we turn it into a universal social media star?
That niche is already dominated by trotters.
That big guy who once raised his fists against us is now the hope for Belobog's revival.
Mr. Yang was practically drooling watching that.
Too bad he wasn't there that time.
Not necessarily.
By next time we visit Eurillo, will it have turned into an ocean planet?
Then wouldn't those polar bears have to be renamed water bears?
The data shows that Eurillo's environment is slowly recovering, but the ice shouldn't melt too quickly.
Time to remove those floaties from the shopping cart.
I heard I was once frozen in this ice block.
That's one way to go on a cosmic hitchhike.
If the conductor hadn't hit the brakes back then, I probably would have punched a hole right through the car, huh?
Stop being dramatic. The express was the one that actively scooped you up.
I remember there was some six-phased ice left after it melted. I used it to make a little figurine. Mr. Yang explained that it's called a figure, and then made me watch anime with him all night.
That's the highest honor he can bestow.
I want a figurine too.
Every morning, the express crew has breakfast together. I can't help it. I'm still sleepy.
Next time, get up earlier and set.
My camera's full of Pom-Pom's photos.
Pom-Pom used to have a turtleneck uniform.
I love my room so much.
Looking at it now, that photo wall must be the power of memories.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask, where's the wardrobe?
Take a guess. I remember TIjourdN, my most trailblazy of trailblazes.
So? What exactly happened?
I saw a ball by the road, so I just casually kicked it.
And then, bam. It flew right into the ceiling, through the venue.
And scored 100 points, too. We'll travel together forever and ever.
That line sounds familiar.
Memories weave the past, bit by bit. They stretch long behind me, like shadows on the path I've walked.
Another century of the Chrysos War. Rust, wails, and the blood of living souls seep into the trembling bedrock as the giant dragon's eyes. War and flames extinguish all their siblings, for Earth's trial is to bear the anguish of.
Upon the edge of doomsday, the giant dragon's whip.
What greeted them is not a flower-covered Aranova, but a long-fallen black sword.
Oh, we are strangers. Please, surrender the core flame.
Dawn? If this puppet of destruction yearns for dawn, The torment of the Black Tide, the sacrifice of their kin.
Won't accept this.
The rusted joints are shattered, one by one. The cracked husk peels away, spilling golden blood. The earthquake that engulfs Amphoreus lasts for 3 days and nights. In its final moments of defiance, the giant dragon suddenly realizes this flame chase is nothing but the kindling of self-pity, the breeding ground for calamity. Yet, Earth's end? In that special recurrence, at that time, as the giant dragon sinks into the earth, still chewing on the pain of betrayal, it hears the footsteps of Evernight.
I need a helper to watch over time until the very end.
Evernight waves her sleeve, bathing the giant dragon in a... And so, the giant dragon sees the past and present of Earth. The 33,550,337th eternal recurrence. The demigod Terravox feigns their fall. In that 1,000 years of defiance, heroes of golden blood meet their tragic end. The pact with Evernight is simple. Time would erase the pain of Earth, and Earth shall become Time's ally. The flame-chasing heroes once scorned the giant dragon.
A foolish earth beast.
A heretic who refused.
After staying for several days, the giant dragon bids farewell to the...
You are a benevolent beast. I had no intention of keeping you captive. A decree to protect innocent lives is about to be issued. All I ask is that you lend a hand to the flame chase in the future.
Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey. After leaving the Imperator's capital, the giant dragon shelters small beasts upon its back. Until a mighty force of reinforcements brings this tragedy to an end. They raised a shield wall for the giant dragon, then marched forth and crushed that city-state.
The mountain dwellers are not a warlike people. Who are you?
The leading knight answered loudly.
I am Mountain Breaker, Geocles.
All the world knows that protecting all of Earth's creations is the creed of the Dromas Legion. The world also knows the Dromas Legion is ever victorious. The giant dragon under the Mountain Breaker is silent, yet unstoppable.
Endurance does not help with survival.
Mountain Breaker always speaks of his friend this way. Soon after, when word came that the flame-chasing army targeted Earth, the Dromas riders set forth in full force, all to protect their creator. On the eve of the march, the giant dragon receives a secret message.
Your one and only flame chase must be to slay your creator, and then fight to survive.
Records state, in the Battle of the Abyss, the Dromas riders were broken after Terravox's betrayal. The Mountain Breaker shed his armor and fell from the cliffs to his end. Earth carved the memories of the betrayal into its strata, until Evernight would leaf through them.
Oh, Earth. Time is willing to wash away that pain of betrayal.
As a memo sprite, the mighty mountain breaker reunites with the giant dragon. His voice trembles in a whisper.
That couldn't have been your choice.
The giant dragon only responds with a low growl. The giant dragon and their comrade dwell in the abyss for 1,000 years, until the azure dragon returns from among the stars, stirring up the dust of destiny.
He is one of our kind.
The giant dragon lifts their eyelids, gazing at the azure-colored long scion, knowing that dragon's body bears the sworn duty of protection. But in Mountain Breaker's eyes, there is only resolute determination.
That is the permanence.
The permanence can heal the divine form of the giant dragon. At the edge of the world, watching their comrade's silhouette fade away, the dying giant dragon shakes its head and sighs.
The permanence is not a panacea, but rather a bridge.
Years later, gazing up at the vast starry night sky, I often ponder, what does the permanence truly mean? The countless souls entrusted by Terravox still surge within my chest, like an eternally burning furnace. I once thought about finding them a home, and tried to communicate with them in my heart. And yet, the living beings of this world, they are now inseparable from me. As if from the very beginning, they were a branch of my own bloodline.
Inseparable?
After I told everyone, a heated discussion broke out in the express car.
Will you turn into a little chimera and snuggle up in our arms?
March 7th lets her imagination run wild.
Maybe he'll become a baby seal.
A magical beast would be fine too. I've always wanted to see that species.
These are the reassuring words from Himiko and Mr. Yang.
No matter what he becomes, DŏN will always be DŏN.
Her words are unusually poetic.
But if you become a Dromus, you absolutely must let me feed you red soil.
Don't you even think about it. Sometimes I have dreams like this. Countless beings flee alongside me. Behind us, black floods blot out the sky as if to devour all signs of life. In our darkest hour, the living beings form a bridge of dragons, and I lead them limping towards the starry sky. At the end of the vast procession, a lone giant dragon comes to a halt, watching us depart into the distance.
The children of Earth will always find their own path. Thank you for being their bridge.
Something stirs within me at the moment of awakening. Perhaps the legacy of the permanence lies not in recreating flesh, nor in the merging of bloodlines. One day, while browsing through the databank, I noticed an update on the universe's animal species. In an ocean-covered planet, a new species of seals evolved, with a penchant for bumping into things. On a barren desert wasteland, evolved a herd of red soil-craving beasts. Many familiar silhouettes are now active in the cosmic ecosystem, yet they are not my old Amphorean friends. This is their rebirth. This is life's way forward. Perhaps, just as Terravox wished, I've become a bridge bearing the weight of their life. They once shattered the battle formation of the mountain dwellers, tore open Giorios' chest, swallowed the core flame, only to resolutely pass it on. Creation will always betray its creator, just as witnessed at the dawn of civilization. Frail beings betrayed the dark tides, climbing onto land, ascending the branches high, finally betraying their home and gazing upon the stars. The furnace in my chest still pulses. In the gaps between the heated torrents, I sometimes find myself in a daze, catching glimpses of that colossal figure in the cosmos's cracks. It was a giant dragon, named the Permanence.
The black tide that blotted out the sky surrounded the city walls. The soldiers manning the walls battered from battle. Melodious chords of music were suddenly heard. A single swordmaster had overcome the waves of enemies. The song flowed from betwixt the blades, breaking through formations as a dorsal fin cleaving the waves. When the last wicked beast finally fell, shattered into pieces amidst the sword's dance, the Frostblade bore no trace of blood.
The legions of heroes under my command are as vast as the sea, yet lack a formidable sword banner.
The commander extended a hand, inviting the musician to join. Should a fish separated from its school, the swordmaster clasped the commander's hand, as though when the spray of her waves extinguished the fires of war from the holy city, a golden name was engraved upon the stone pillars. The former commander burned the crown to become king.
High Sealands, brave in battle, triumphant in command, I grant you the title Dux Gladiorum. Let us all forge ahead together.
During the banquet after the battle, the weaver tailored for her a splendid dress, and the commander poured her honey brew. Her golden-blooded comrades gathered about her, chanting her new name, urging her to play that splendid music. The candlelight danced and mingled with flowing drink, swords and song ringing out in unison. Yet none knew that was once a lonely melody from the deep sea. The music of revelry continued for a long time. until the whispers of conspiracies were buried in the songs, until the roars of lethal struggle shattered the music. Legend holds that they who bear the weight of a pillar shall one day return to where it stands. Those who tug at the earth shall end amongst the mountains. Those who sow dawn and dusk shall remain eternal in the sky. And she would once again return to the pitch-black sea and the bountiful ocean with the banquets of bygone days. Many years later, the people knew the demigod of the seas was still a noble captain. She possessed peerless swordsmanship and a song that is passed down through the ages. It was just that she had long since vanished. Guests at the banquet sometimes spoke of her, but it was only a prayer between their cups.
High ceilings, melody of the waves, bless our night that we may drink deep and dance till dawn.
When entering the Flame Chase's currents for the first time, all the Swordmaster saw were colorful fish. She had already experienced the Imperator's dangerous games. She had long grown used to the giant beast's silent face. Carminum's charms and Helcalithist's gentleness warmed her like a spring breeze. But as Pregoris missed his throne, and Bromalis debated with joy, she was sometimes at a loss. Occasionally, the Swordmaster would sink into hesitation, and even that messenger of fate could not get her to laugh. Till one day, a golden trout's bubbles floated into her gloomy waters. In that holy city where golden figs grew, the messenger of fate led to her a maiden dressed in glamorous gowns.
What kind of clothes are you even wearing?
The girl snickered behind her hand, while the messenger pulled on her sleeve.
Aggie, don't be rude!
Such hubris, delicate fish. Are you not aware that there's food on your face?
The messenger's eyes opened wide.
Aggie, you've been snacking behind my back again!
Exposing me like this! I'll get my revenge!
The girl ran away in a fit. The Swordmaster smiled, and before she knew it, her hesitation was gone. After that first meeting, the richly dressed girl often came in greeting.
So, you really came from the Sea of Souls? Do all the children of the ocean dress funny like this?
The Swordmaster did not chase the girl away, but also did not respond. So the girl used her hands to meticulously measure the Swordmaster's torso all around.
You can't be seen like this. I'll send you a new dress.
Some days later, the Swordmaster appeared in finery at a ball. All were awed by her splendor, with only the Imperator thinking in wonder.
How rare to see you like this. Oh, so lonely, Gladius.
The Swordmaster's wardrobe grew full, but only the Swordmaster noticed that the smile on the girl's face gradually faded as if the calamity of lands asunder. Yet another feast arrived where the Gold Weaver was absent. the Swordmaster donned the most majestic garments and gently knocked on that door shut tight. The singing voice of Dux Gladiorum hailed the prelude of the feast. Guests clamored and cups clinked, and only the Goldweaver had no thought of enjoying the ambrosia.
Who would have thought? I've sunk so low that I need you to comfort me.
She gave a bitter chuckle next to the bonfire.
You were as gloomy as the bedrock of the ocean when we first met.
The Swordmaster held a tall chalice containing liquid pure, reflecting their two faces.
I remember you were once curious about the stories under the sea. Then allow me to use my songs to reveal the past known to none.
In the depths of the Sea of Souls, its residents all had melodious voices, and music enveloped every ocean current. For the Queen loved her people deeply, thus drowning out all sorrows and leaving only feasts and twirls. Only one rocky castle was silent, one belonging to the Princess of the Ocean, a princess named Electra. Were a monster of the depths to invade, the princess would raise her sword to engage. The people always rang her triumphs before she returned, for her swordsmanship was superb, never suffering defeat.
Princess! Come enjoy the feast with us.
The triumphant people raised their glasses, yet she declined with a smile and a wave. The children of the sea thought she was shy, but little did they know that in the dead of night, her castle too echoed with music. Though that music was loud, twisted, and invoked spite. Before a song even finished, the princess was already biting her lips, and the sea foam brushed away her tears.
All of your people sing and dance with skill. So why do I alone lack a good singing voice?
The princess wept, her face on the Queen's knees.
The ocean's favorite child can control the waves and is invincible in battle. In exchange, Talantin took away your singing voice.
The Queen consoled the princess, caressing the other's hair bun. Finally, she relented and took a chalice.
If you're truly troubled, then imbibe the honey brew in this blessed chalice and throw yourself into the feast at ease.
The liquid in the cup sat still, reflecting her loneliness.
Princess, come sing with us!
The people outside her window invited her warmly still. She finally ceased to hesitate, drinking down all the honey brew in one swallow, and leaped into the crowds. She played music and sang, smiling and dreaming. When her song was over, it felt as if waking from a dream. But as soon as the honey brew touched her lips, the princess plummeted to the ground, and her cheeks became rosy in drunkenness. The The whispers of the ocean filled her ears as the princess fell drunk again and again at the prelude of a feast.
Seems like you still have not been able to get rid of that curse.
The Gold Weaver softly took the cup away from her hand.
If you want to enjoy yourself to the fullest, then leave this honey brew till the very end.
She smiled, then tilted the cup towards the Gold Weaver's lips.
Even if one is burdened with imperfections, I beg you to remember not to refuse that sip filled with fantasy and dreams.
She returned home after many years. The princess of the ocean stood alone with her sword drawn, stepping over the blooming blood of her peers. Before her, the creator of the sea sirens and the mother goddess of feasts was already sinking into the drunkenness of imminent death. When the blood pact of the law won over the ocean's core flame,
I am willing to accept the final Imperial command.
the deep sea became a silent place of dwelling. Hugging her knees, Electra locked herself in. Savage and fearsome monsters swam past her, but none dared to interrupt her tragic dream. Till one day, a golden trout's bubbles floated into her gloomy waters.
Long time no see, Gladius. I see LIենց. Now you have truly become the ocean's bedrock.
Old friends met again, and new friends came in greeting. Many messengers came in company. The playful kitten hid behind the golden trout. The butterfly of the deadly shadow fluttered in courtesy.
If you don't mind,
the resplendent pearl sparkled.
We hope you can regain your strength and sing for the world once again.
Electra raised her violin sword in doubt, as the strings had long ago rusted and snapped. But a few golden strands cleansed all the filth around her, then stretched out to become new strings. The golden strings showed Electra that the world she loved was not yet silent, and the journey of deliverance continued still. Yet the path to the Sea of Stars. The golden trout never met with her again, and the waves brought endless news of sorrow. Amidst the long wait, she remained bound by decree. All the flames died out, extinguished until this world fell into eternal silence. And the wordless enemies in the deep sea were the audience of this rite, the THEOs.
You already know that the world is just an illusion.
The sea siren gazed out beyond the heavens and once more raised her glass to fill it with honey brew.
Since the mirage of pleasures can only disappear like foam, when you return, will you save some ocean spray for me?
This was a city of festivities, where never-ceasing songs eternally filled the air. Chrysos heirs, demigods, and mortals all came to feast from the four corners of the world. It was beautiful and radiant. The siren once longed for the banquet to never end. As a fish, she was destined to drift with the waves, whether amidst the surging tides of evil or immersed in the currents of the starry sea. Until a millennium later, when the fish from beyond the sky finally took their seat.
I enjoy banquets. How about you, little gray fry?
Having beheld the monarch's gifts, a sliver of light fell from a crack on the cave ceiling. In the deep sea, 1,000 years passed. The sea siren once swam to the shore with unwavering will. The moment she leapt free from the water, she felt the waves stirred by peals of laughter. Mirages of her friends shimmered and faded, and songs of joy rang out from the shore, just as she had wished. Dux Fragoris sliced the Droma's flank with a time-worn edge. Dux Brumalis cast an icy chalice, steaming with the breath of frost. Dux Helcalithist brimmed her vessel with honey brew, while Dux Carminum unfurled a scroll of new verse.
At last you have arrived, our belated musician.
The gold weaver's silver needles hover in the air, weaving beautiful outfits for her. Electra accepts the gift that does not exist, as salty water wets her new attire. She knows this is not reality, just like the world she loves. Mere foam in the sea of stars.
Even so.
She drank down the warm glow in the cup, in the drunkenness granted by her mother.
I, too, shall have my fill of feasts.
Now sober, she begins one last song. The musician plucks her strings in the spring, and the waltzing hem stirs the water into waves, revealing memories in throngs. She sings of the once awakened Titan, how the princess accompanied the queen to swim in azure waves. She sings of the confident and dashing monarch, of loyal knights who marched with the Imperator to seize the solemn states. She sang of the one destined by heaven's will. She sang of herself, a cup made of fish bones, ever waiting for someone to banish the nihil. She sang until her voice turned hoarse, and the spirit water she held was no more. The honey brew ran out, the final notes dispersed, and the feast of fantasy shattered in turn. Before the deadly quiet seashore, she gave one final smile, then faded into sea foam.
To the fish from beyond the sky, we shall sink into the past.
For she had glimpsed the sky beyond the cave.
You must carry the new sun and swim toward the distant horizon.
On the leaves, the rustling wind plays a melody.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides.
The girl makes the courtyard tidy. And in the Evernight lands outside the Holy City, the girl's skills can bring forth miracles.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The gravely patient shakes their head.
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more.
The girl watches the patient leave, and her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things with me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
The redhead child takes the girl's hands.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akuma for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they are considered junk.
Multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass. And when some fireflies wander in, the girl is all smiles.
Little ones, thank you for your light.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. Multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
The news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. People say there was once a star called the sun in the sky, but now that star is no longer there. Like the blizzards in the month of mourning, doth calamity fall, when the girl, far from home, hears of such grave news. Soon, the people of Akuma see once again the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure haven. But she never realized that wherever she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled haven. This world may contain thousands of ills, but the father and daughter who inherited the sky.
Heirs of the sky who once reveled in martial might, why do you now soothe the world's blistering blight?
Father, why did our ancestors revel in warlike might?
Because they only have a sorrowful past of lamenting wails.
Then why are we here, soothing the blight?
Because we have a future that needs protection still.
The priest who parts dusk from dawn collapsed the sky and sealed her wings, and dwells in a place where time itself mends, bearing the promise to return to the Zenith Supreme.
This is the Twilight Courtyard's story.
And the father tells his daughter the tale of their line, though he had told the story meant.
Maybe I will return to the sky one day.
Or maybe that is not to be your fate.
The blessings of the sky were passed down through generations of their heirs. The brawn of the Titan who molded stars granted a boon fitting. Perhaps the girl with heroic blood in her veins. Childishly, she recited the words,
"Oh sky, heed my wishes."
And thunder and heat did not descend. What a gentle blessing. All said that she must be a savior saint, bringing light to the land. But where the girl's eyes often gazed,
the god is also sick.
That grand longing to save the world, but her father treated it as his greatest treasure. That girl, therefore, always accompanied, and she brought glowing faint light to the night, dispelling pains and mending the world's pitchy blight. Father and daughter often rested. On that night, the healer spoke to a visitor throughout. He will heal the ill at a
You have learned the craft of healing and understood the blessing.
The departed healer never returned, and the girl never left. And that rather lonely courtyard stayed silent.
A good student, who often did stupid things.
Was the assessment from the lithophagus sage.
An excellent healer who fails at all scholarly means.
A shining child who also burns away her...
A fool who was always wreathed in smiles.
The girl had visited all the schools. She refused to become a scholar.
Instead of increasing this world's knowledge, I prefer to reduce its pain.
While the sages faced her words in silence.
An apprentice who spends wisdom is more precious than scholars who hide knowledge away.
The faded twilight courtyard, long eroded by time, now shelters a girl, the sole heir of her lineage. Loneliness accompanied her days, till the sage of the Caprists visited her and brought her a chromatic pony with a grin.
It may be the Eye of Twilight.
Could it be the warlike winged beast of her father's tales? But the sleepy, dreary-eyed pony before her was soft as freshest plucked cotton. The girl still took this gift, for from the little creature, she smelled the scent of clouds distant.
If it weren't for her, I would have suffered more accusations.
The Newsporism sage says in admission, the scholar is coming to deliver arguments and reproach, for the girl before the door soothed their blazing anger.
Do you know what sacrileges he has committed?
The girl muddles her answers.
Like you and me, he too wishes to heal all of this world's afflictions.
The girl treated ailments for many years in the Grove. When scholars seek medical help, by that time, the twilight already lost their eyes. Seeing the golden thread and ivy in the night, though it has been long since she recalled her past.
Should the sun be dimmed by destiny's decree, then the dawn that heals the world, I shall replace.
On that day, the dawn promised by the Skyfather shattered in haste. In a quaint yet exquisite courtyard, two bitter foes meet at journey's end, with no escape, no road behind.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
Not long ago, as the romantic demigod closed her eyes, the girl bottled her tears in sorrow, and once more opened the dim-lit garden wide. Two figures step into the courtyard's gate. A general of Kremnos, her body torn, by vengeance bound, by fury swayed. A noble of the Holy City, once wrapped in gold, now haunted by a fate betrayed. A simple injury, or so the girl believed. Yet the two women met with scorn, their words like blades, because their children fled in love's embrace, while bloodied pasts left scars in place. A feud unbroken by countless years.
Just do your duty as a healer, girl.
Family feuds are like sunlight and storm clouds.
At last, the girl saw it clear.
Then I will make every effort to have you cast aside your difference in this faint light.
Before long, the general's wounds were healed. Yet when their gazes met once more, the girl then spoke the tale of her skykin. Their hands in hers, she held them tight. Yet flames of hatred burned.
I will use my own fate to prove to you.
The courtyard, once bright, lay steeped in night. Hanging blossoms and wind chimes, all swallowed by the black tide. The general raised her spear, for the noble's sake, while the noble whispered prayers for the general, gentle as a lake.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
The death they awaited never came. Instead, a cascade of colors fell from the heavens, simply there, protecting them both. The sky still burned, dark and low, yet her words lingered, a gentle ember refusing to fade.
I will use my own fate to prove to you. Day and night can be mended, and so can hatred be undone.
Sky Castrum, its ruins, alone, the girl remained upon the battlefield. No time to shy from the searing gold. She fought her way to destiny's edge. Of the crumbled mural, but one piece endured. A corner portraying the day thunder night, dazzling in blaze. She placed her hand upon the mural. Pain seared through skin and bone, as the picture claimed her within its lines.
Nothing is mightier than the sky. It holds countless wonders within its clouds, and each opening and closing of the eyes brings dawn and dusk.
In that painted world, the girl Celiosi's eyes glowed. But the girl known as Hyacinth recalled her father's fragile light in the dark.
The sky is the gentlest of all. It watches over all things with compassion, showering them with soft rain and morning light.
And yet, the sky remains so cold. It witnesses believers tear each other apart. And still, it cowardly flees from all responsibility.
Within the frame of that image, the one called Celiosi bore fury in her gaze, her golden blood trailing as she turned from home, sharpening arrowheads beneath the wide and barren sky. Hyacinth remembered her grandmother's song. She recalled her prayer to Aquila before her grandmother's journey.
But the sky is so lonely too, forever distant from the world beneath. It watches every sorrow, unable to intervene.
No. The sky must be merciless. It must scorch the wicked, temper the fragile.
Within the mural, the girl named Celiosi became the divine eye. But in memories deep, Hyacinth heard their call.
No, the sky must not forsake kindness.
The sky, it's so dark, so cold.
In the depths of memory, the girl named Celiosi pulls her knees to her chest.
Then please, come sit in my courtyard.
A gentle ray of light seeped through. The celestial mural now fused anew. Once more, the land knows favor and boons. The girl who has now become the sky takes the hand of the girl who once was.
I want to tell you the secret of the sky's greatness. Whenever the anguished earth looks to it, it always offers a smile in return.
are no swords here, only farming tools.
Facing the ambitious boy.
Even a rake would do. Let its worth be judged by the verses I compose with it.
Many days later, the wounded child stood upon the scorched earth, and silently he buried the ruined tool. For that was his first sword. And on the day that the black tide came, he broke the shackles of fate with that weapon true.
Let go of my beard, you white-haired rascal!
No!
Fine! You win, okay?
That was the first victory claimed by the boy. A victory often mentioned in later years.
I understood something thanks to his beard.
The others hold their breath, waiting for his thoughts.
The victor must stay focused, and success will come when you work on nothing else. Knowledge is also a power used to smite.
While studying at the Grove of Epiphany, he etched this into his heart, so he devoured thousands of books, skimming through to glean the martial powers of might. But unenlightened wisdom is merely dust. Thus, his books are always worn into shreds, for each book was read endlessly, till he remembered every detail slight. When first arriving at the Holy City, he was no more skilled than a soldier, except his ambition.
Even the deliverer from the sky must have their beginnings in the soil of the nations.
The elders in the Holy City scorned, casting him into barracks, but none expected. This new recruit of unknown history, some asked him, which teacher caused such improvement?
Only one who treats the world as their teacher can bear its eventual destiny.
Those with golden blood are bound to succeed.
The golden heroes are born as gods, beloved.
Such words echo in the man's mind. Yet he knows glory is not where the journey begins. He misses the buried rake, worshipped the enemy with the long beard, mended his tattered books, and polished the barracks' dust-covered gear.
What forges a hero is not destiny from above, but the long journey that follows.
Now he stands here and looks back, and his past twists into a winding path. The long road to the sky stretches ahead, and towards the blazing white sun, he pens down Deliverance's name.
Final? Perhaps you're more suited to being a teacher's assistant.
There was once those who misunderstood his alias. Final. An eventuality for students. A test for knowledge gained. It may bring wisdom to light and illuminate efforts, but the word's more common meaning is nothing less than the end.
That's quite ominous.
The man pretended to be surprised and responded with a smile.
Though it does dovetail with our destiny.
Laughter resounds. The man walks the land, leaving footprints filled with joy. Despite the weight of the past, he can always laugh it away. Those nearby glance at each other, unsure of how to respond.
Perhaps I was just born easygoing.
His explanation is just as carefree.
Look at Mighty and Professor Anaxa. Boys all grow up into serious adults. But as long as I keep smiling, Akuma will always have an upbeat, shining young man.
Though having said that, He too has quiet moments. Each time he gazed long toward the coming dawn. A smile remained fixed on his lips. His eyes were painted with the azure of the sky, gaze fixed on the Titan bearing the world.
I was just imagining.
He explained his own trance in a comment.
Kefali too was once in mortal flesh and raiment.
Now, when the man comes with sword in hand, there is no need to doubt he will swiftly win victory. But his smile is pure. Ever since the start of the journey, he is still called a youth in this story. Youth is always ambitious, with lofty goals.
Apart from the ideal of deliverance, what do you have left?
He remained silent. Then, as he was wont to do, he simply smiled.
As long as I don't ask for too much, everything will unfold as desired.
In Amphoreus, untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they made clay figures in their likeness. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, but that sorrow was, in the end, only the sorrow of the world. Nobody ever cared what lay behind the smile, what the clay figure thought. The people likened him to the blazing sun, and for his part, he embraced their expectations, being willing to become the perfect vessel. Like that god who shouldered the world, the man never cried, yet he is not proud of his resolve, only out of fear that he cannot cry for those in pain. He once sought out emotions of sorrow, and walked with the lowliest of people.
Henceforth, your misfortune shall be my misfortune.
Responsibly and diligently, he protected all for the people, living in dilapidated cottages, sitting on aged stools, subsisting on nuts and fruit. The people thanked him for his grace, like a hearth warming winter nights. Whence does his warmth come from? None ask. The man gradually perceives his true nature. Unable to bear the turmoil in his heart, the man set off on a journey once more.
Then I shall go save what I can.
He was a formidable warrior, invincible in battle. And when it was necessary to sacrifice for fellows, he could do so with ease, giving up everything without a show. Just as the ballad blown on the breeze says, losses are a constant on the flame chase journey. Indeed, sacrifices were not hard for him. Like a tear that cannot be shed, such a resolute willingness to let go.
It is because you suffer that you are so much stronger than any ordinary person.
There were also those who could understand him. Among them, the Crown Prince, but he smiled wryly in response. Perhaps everything was just human nature. Yet his misgivings never dissipated. This unknown man, in an unknown corner, from time to time, is swallowed by terror.
Could it be that, unknowingly, path I walk is by no means the correct one?
Fearing only that the greater the burden, the more the mistakes. The road trod by heroes need not be that beset by thorns. Finally, at the terminus of that road, in a desolate, empty place, the man's arms tremble. The power is beyond control. savaging all around it.
I am willing to shoulder this world. That is no lie.
But before the tears could flow, they were vaporized by the heat. His light blazed brighter than the sun, but beneath it, there was but cold destruction. The nameless hero, Kazlana. He had never loved himself. Why would he love this world? A gust of wind will one day sweep past, wiping away all the man's tracks. Nearly that humble youth faded away with the flames into yesterday. The first ray of light to pierce the long night was brought by the burning man. But the body that bore the weight of the world was forged by the fires of wrath. Rage is a crafty emotion. It changes its face. His friend fought blood-soaked battles, but every victory in battle he gained left him neither satisfied nor proud.
You must be careful. Duty does not drive you to wield your blade, but hate.
His teacher kindly reminded him thus.
And behind that hatred, you seem to desire the destruction of the...
But what about his joy? Was that too merely a phony disguise? No. Even though he knew not the meaning of love, that happy past was not a lie someone wove. But now, even those memories have melted into fury. His hatred is such that he cannot hold on to what he cherishes, though all is precious to him. Fueled with lone courage, he attempted to resist fate. But the burning sun that shines upon all creatures, once fallen, will incinerate the land, becoming golden death. But what of his sorrow? Indeed, the man could shed no tears. But at the moment the cycle manifested, the stabbing pain in the man's heart, was it but the residual warmth of his wraths? The truth no longer important. The man simply took another step forward.
There is no need to question your heart. No need to crave victory. If I am born to be a vessel of sin, then I shall roar at evil, and together with it burn.
In the endless cycles, there were some moments when the man felt everything dissolve like a dream. In that dream, he would awaken again and become once more the boy who loved to laugh. But were he to open his eyes, the fury would cast a shadow. He saw the creators choke his throat, gurgling and gasping. And in that boundless dream, he mistook them for his own jest. But their true forms were violent hatred. Towards the creators, towards himself, a roaring inferno. The prophecy departed. Amphoreus was unable to usher in the dawn. What rises in the distance is not the morning sun, but a ball of all-devouring fire, setting the universe in conflagration, searing till the end of time.
Before meeting death,
the scholar already composed his own epitaph.
This person's name was seldom mentioned by others. Incomplete, just like his fate.
He would sweep his own grave at the beginning of every month of reaping, hands that never seek the benediction of gods.
Keep your distance from that blasphemous one.
In those rumors, the scholar's hubris looms foul and vile. He dares to proclaim ascendancy over gods, but the one shouldering such slander, his lonesome figure stands aloof, for he always believed. Grove of Epiphany, the paradise of the wise, yet harbors one shouldering than he calls himself a clear-headed teacher. Yet, for the rest of the student's life, that saying often proves to be more valuable than gold. Pupils often praise his words as divine utterances. Apart from destiny, he seems able to decipher all laws, and now, even destiny may also be within his grasp. It was not so in the beginning.
Faced with a god's edict, even I cannot resist.
With no guidance given.
Miracles are the most conceited actions of gods. Magic tricks are the most articulate rebuttal. They are humanity's imitation of godhood via intellect.
He habitually describes the feats of mankind as, but magic tricks cannot afford to fail, even after 1,000,000 times. Using the final trick, they wish to create a miracle to end all miracles. This is a tale buried in history. One day, a student elated in victory.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body.
The youth with white hair was beside himself in joy.
It must be a power most secret, a means for one man to stand against 1,000.
That spell was rare indeed, for it was a secret way to overturn a cart of hay. The scholar was still a mortal body, as yet to snatch life from various minute tricks and parody. He studied them all. And in that unwitnessed moment of his death, now, that craft is regarded as a magnificent study. In fact, he once crafted miracles, forging silent servants using soil as vehicle. However, one day, he suddenly changes his tune.
Creation is the Titan's work, and slavery is the Titan's manacle. When imitating divine evil, there's no need to invest reason, most pinnacle.
When the servants have all been recycled, he deigns not to explain, fearing to waste his reason or muscle. So he jokingly concludes the questioning with a chuckle.
If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble.
The way he addresses himself comes from elsewhere.
For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation's secrets, the truth hidden, and...
That is in fact the scholar's crafty snare. He hides the answer he seeks behind questions posed by those unaware. The scholar never looks at laws and measurements.
Why? Obviously to drag out class time as a statement.
Outside the courtyard, the gossip flows into the scholar's ear. He silently gives a grade to every question and argument. But none know the true answer, according to his judgment.
Do not make him your enemy, even though he may seem frail and weak.
When a valiant warrior from afar assaulted the grove, he shattered their strength with only his eyes and pointing stick.
He may seem cold and unkind, but he sees through human emotions with just a peek.
All is science, and human wisdom knows no bounds. Both martial prowess and emotions are knowledge that can be found.
He firmly believes that all things can be deciphered. For those who only protect themselves, the world cannot see their intentions. Colleagues suspect him of creating new blood. Curious ones gaze through the window beholds, seeing a small wooden bird on the table, wobbling in comfort. I ask him, seeking his motive for this effort. Creatures that through his hands pass. He once removed his hat. That bird was once a toy, and now his messenger. That is the magic trick of his success, and one of his teachings that he will profess.
Nothing in this world is ever born fixed.
The far-seeing must be far in thought. It's a time he refrains from looking back on. Countless times, he exhausted his crafty sleights. Perhaps fate could not guess his goals, but it could trample over his plans overnight. His ambitions are too lofty, and so failure follows him never too softly. Respond to defeat with a smile haughty, not from optimism, nor from a defeat of the heart.
If this road is easy to walk, then future generations will not praise my name in piety,
says his ambition. On the day that the grove fell, he accepted his defeat and demise.
Believe in Titans, and you'll have a happy death. Deny the Titans, and you'll have a fulfilling death.
Yet as the lightened soul bids farewell to its heavy shell, a Titan made an untimely call.
Do not be startled, child of humanity. You have a final query in this world.
You finally came.
He does not seem shocked, and lets the core flame take over his shell.
Be more punctual next time, if you...
Upon his first meeting with the Titan, the blasphemer is already on his best behavior, and towards the suggestion to reforge his body, he paid no mind.
I have so kindly offered you the best body. So why do you insist upon your mortal imperfection?
The scholar replies in candor.
Only by retaining the various flaws can my humanity be preserved in rigor.
His form remains in the mortal realm, while his spirit walks the river of soul, dwelling in the child of humankind's thoughts and senses. The Titan cannot bear to remain a mere spectator.
Why not ask me your questions, child of humanity? I am rich in wisdom, and shall speak with no ambiguity.
As though an unspoken pact.
Do you treat me just as a way to answer questions? A mere machine?
The Titan got what they asked for.
You should thank me, for good questions are rarer than good answers.
Compared to the joy of a new life, the scholarly breakthrough, carried home alongside death, filled the scholar's heart. He returned to the Scourged Grove many times, but at every desperate moment, the Titan would eventually take over one half of his body. The union of man and God, a flawed and clumsy choreography. It happened but once, a perfect harmony. One man, one god, speaking in one breath.
Stop stepping forward at the same time as me.
The Titan once revealed the secrets of mixing life. A boon seemingly a blessing, but full of malice.
What a tempting bait. But that's not my desired chalice.
Divine power is within his reach, but the scholar is not moved by that essence. This long and abnormal temptation.
Teacher, in this tumultuous world, have you thought about your will?
It was just a joke. But the scholar still at the Grove. He has much to say about his posthumous affairs.
Teacher, could it be that you fear death?
Philosophy is the inquiry into death. And I have always considered myself a philosopher.
The assistant recounts all the scholar's final wishes, each mighty as a mountain, asking what seemed impossible.
The tombstone must be made of my treasured rare stones, carved with Dromus patterns.
But that stone is a miracle of alchemy.
That's also his plan.
The assistant softly reveals the hidden plot.
He hopes that instead of shedding tears over his death, we will find it in us to smile, even in a moment of sorrow.
It's rumored that in the depths of the Grove, the scholar left a teaching in Ingenium.
Go back. The living have not exhausted their thoughts. But if you have no one to talk to, fine. You can sit and converse.
Now, the Grove is no longer bustling. Someone once suggested,
perhaps your ambition should also find its place.
Pointless notion.
He dismissed in...
Unveiling the countenance of the gods is a task for the living.
Such a melancholy topic. Perhaps these chapters should not be retained. Yet there seems to be a voice there in remonstration.
It's just the past. What harm is there in revelation?
Even in passing, his hubris still resounds in reverberation.
The smaller a thing is, the more it shows its weight. The more foolish my name is, the more glory my achievements will be in comparison.
リラの独奏が街中から流れてくる。
愛しき者よ。
演奏を聴いていた人は眉を潜めた。彼が慕っていた少女は石膏でできたから彼女には感情で変わる瞳や可愛いエクボどころか金を紡ぐラプティス、ロマンの代行者。客人は不安そうに門を開く。
アグライア様、私はアポリの
彼は神戸を垂れる際に象牙の彫刻が施された白い手が床に垂れていた裾を持ち上げた。
まさに愛と美の創造物だ。
客人の心のざわめきが
胸を貫くハサミに注意さえすれば。
禁止のもう一端で彼女はこう言った。
幻想と包容することができます。
古い劇場には幾万の演目と幾万の引きが混ざり合っている。ステージの下に座ったおる者は放逐された詩人がロマンという名の意図は全ての人が人生をより合わせることでできたもの。見てほしい。気を落とした従者がたおやかなラフトラにも美しいカンバセはあった。 ある者は剣を握る戦士に扮し、やがて部隊は嵐の中で
針を剣としてください。
彼女は答えられない従者たちに、ラフトラたちは今日も優雅に振る舞う。紛争が大地を席巻し、奇術が人の心を惑わしていた時代、彼女はロマンあふれる屋敷で青春時代を過ごした。やがて戦火が糸を燃やした。目を覆っていた禁止がことごとく断たれ、隠されていた道理が明らかになった。
風に吹かれてなびくような高貴さほど。
長きにわたる戦争の中で廃れた邸宅には門すらもほぼ残っていなかった。絶望に目を閉じていると、次女が壊れた食器を持ってきたようだ。
お嬢様、もう一度針と糸を取り、私のために何か折っていただけませんか？もう目は見えませんが、あなたが作った服を着たいのです。
その言葉を聞いた途端、生殖の渇望が憂いをかき消した。手元の美しい衣を黄金に変え、彼女は高貴な身分を取り戻した。織り手がパーティーに出席すると、かつての賛美がまた波のように押し寄せた。
なんて優雅な方なのかしら。きっとモネータがこの世に降り立った姿に違いないわ。
耳ざとい従者は周知上に首を垂れ、か細い声で謝罪した。
お嬢様のお顔に泥を塗ってしまい、大変申し訳ございません。
だが主は次女を会場の中央へ連れ、彼女は知った。賛美も誹謗も全て虚偽であると。彼女は知った。外見の美醜はロマンと無関係であると。彼女はもう無力な少女ではない。次女は彼女に向けられたナイフの前に立った。鮮血が再び彼女の衣服を赤く染め上げる。喪服を仕立てていた時、指の震えを抑えることができず、何度も鋭い針に刺されてしまった。葬儀の時、見渡す限りの犠牲者の墓とこれは神の火種を追い求めるため訪れた宿命なのか。
なぜ美しく見えるものが醜悪であり、醜いものの下に高貴さが隠れているのでしょう。なぜ盲目のものには光が見えるのに、光が見えるものはかえって光に目を向けないのでしょう。
凋落した髪は、
もしあなたの目が召しいたのならば、私は己の運命をもって。
彼女は燃えたぎる火種を握りしめる。温かな液体が万物を見つめる彼女の両目から流れ落ちた。その瞬間、彼女は確信した。彼女には見える。最も繊細な色彩が、
全てが見えるということは、何も見えていないことと同義です。
だから彼女はピュエロスに浸かり、石の上を歩き、足を怪我した母親が素足を湯に浸している。ピュエロスではしゃぐ子供たちの声が聞こえる中、大声で喋る女の子の声が耳に入ってきた。彼女のバニオはいつも一人だ。大抵は履修の時、または明晰の時から始まる。ヤーヌスの聖女がやってきた。両手で水を汲み上げ、タプネーの枝を洗うように、そして火種を手に入れた者はようやく知った。あの日自分の頬に触れたものと同じ熱さ。
私は夢を見たのです。
彼女は少女のように打ち、水音があらゆる喧騒とまだ温室の中の霊場だ。最後に彼女が聞いた神託の夢を見た。
黎明の御針はいつも輝き、小鳥の歌は鳴りやまない。
なぜ長く伝わっている童謡を。だが黎明の御針は本当にいつまでも輝き続けるのだろう。かつて黄金のピュエルスで両目を貫かれたのは神は彼女の運命に脚注を。赤髪の子供の顔に憂いがにじんだ。
みんなの運命は聞いたのに、自分の未来は教えてくれないの？
神託を伝える子供は理解している。
身を糸とするのであれば、私の未来は一つでしょう。人々を包む衣になるのです。
彼女は子供の手を時を知らせる鐘が鳴り響くまでは、日酔いの論議が始まるまでは、安らかな眠りにつく運命を抱きながら彼女はつぶやく。
いずれ華やかな服をまとう人よ、糸の重さを支えるのです。
彼はいつからモーディスという名で知られるようになったのだろう。その勇猛さは万の軍勢にも匹敵するが、王権に終止符を打てるのは荒野を駆け巡った聖戦の徹底は、彼と握手を交わす勇気を持つ者はいない。その両手は燃え盛る烈日のごとく、あれは何と呼称すべき義挙だったのか。その戦で彼は向かってきた敵の兵陣を、不死の肉体は何度砕かれようと屈することはない。何年も漂流してたせいで、しかしエイジリアのその花は彼の不死のにいつか他の一族のものとは異なり、その文様は
モーディスに傷をつけられる刃物なら神をもほふる力を持っているだろう。
敵に滴る血を見せてはならない。そうすることで王実の出来事により彼の体は鍛え上げられた。
君からクレムノスの伝統を取ったら。
男は無言のままあの流浪の日々で。
だからこそ俺はこの旅路を歩むことを決めた。
あの戦場に近づける者はいなかった。彼は軍に待機するよう命じる。あれは二人の男の戦いは10日続き、どちらも勝利は得られなかったが、誰も知らない。なぜこの男の運命は誰も知らない。互いに認め合ったという説もあるが、そして偶然にも禁止を紡ぐ指導者らしき英雄が、その男が己の行いの是非を問うことはなかった。
しかし狩りの歴史はカルガーだけが刻むものではない。
こんな推測をした人がいた。王として民に最初に与えるべきものは、長い旅の途中彼が孤高なものだったからではない。森の中で目視は当てにならない。だが例外はある。男の宿敵は生徒に足を踏み入れた日のことは忘れ、
あの男は教王の末裔だ。
流言など気に留める必要も。しかし予言が実現するまで
栄光のための死は永遠の眠りではない。
これは クレムノス人であれば
死を直視できん軟弱者どもは
ステュクスより帰還したあの日、彼は人々に向かって宣告した。多くの従者はその宣告を聞くと考えあぐねたが、不死の肉体は無血と同等。その時の彼はまだ未熟。この話をした時、男が動じることは一切なかった。ところがまだ幼い頃のように、それは彼が見下げて当然の癒し。クレムノスには神より授かった秘技が
故に王位を継承できなかった反逆者は、
この言葉が物語の主人公の耳に届いた。彼は反論もせず平然と答える。
その通りだろう。だが歴代の王を超える功績を残せれば関係のないことだ。
不死身であるがゆえ、彼は我々から栄光を奪っている。
軍の中で囁かれている言葉は、男の老虎たる心の端に絶えずとどまり続けていた。神聖した戦において窮地に陥るたび、彼に追従した古軍の兵士たちのほと。
お前の栄光は死ではない。俺の手中にあるものだ。
やがて紛争は終わった。正気のない静寂だけが残った故郷に王実の幻影が問いかけてくる。
火を追う旅を最後まで歩めましたか、我が王よ。
王座の上で男はつぶやいた。
狩るべきものはもう何もない。
彼の言葉の通りだ。王を殺め王となる。神を殺め神となる。血を浴びて体感する。これが彼の全ては昔のままだった。彼が守るクレムノスは再び霧に覆われる。今はそれを見届ける者も歓声を上げる者もいない。優勝者は死の静寂を抱く。その男にとって掟の刻印はもう意味をなさない。激しい戦いはやむことなく繰り返され、意外が次々と積み重なる時折、獅子は頂に登ると遠い天地は果てしなく広がっている。ニカドリーのように彼にもいずれ一人古城を守り苦戦を繰り返す彼に、しかしあの不屈の来路を照らす追憶は過去に終わりを告げ、男は再び戦場に足。エイジリアに伝わる詩には、人は世界の光になれるために目を閉じたまま生まれ、しかし男は死の呼びかけに対し死から戻るたびに、彼は怒りに満ちた目で敵を睨んだ。暗黒の潮が押し寄せ、万物が消え、獅子はいつか死ぬ。そして二度と戻ってくることはない。轟音とともに倒れたのは、しかしその目はかがり火のごとく明日が来るまで。星々はこう歌うだろう。彼はクレムノスの孤高なる王、その名はモーディス。彼が歩んだ一生は栄光の戦果であった。彼の背後には栄光が満ちていると。
Born with an evil curse, her hand dips into lethal cinnabar. Many skills were born out of her seclusion. The girl converses with all items in the house. Specimens, tea sets, and even pillows in profusion, as if she can hear the responses of these non-living things.
I have always lived in isolation. Out of courtesy, this is how I practice my words and actions.
'Tis hard to believe her explanation. Her face when talking shows such a gentle disposition. Thus, people pass these rumors down. Within the area of her encirclement, all things became frozen. It is an exaggeration, that is certain. People only found an ancient lion's head in battle's ruined armaments.
Those words are true.
The head itself was nearly dead.
Though they won in fierce battle.
This is how death escapes time. She keeps every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart. Out of her numerous works, butterflies and flowers often stand out stark. It is a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift. The beloved gold weaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her the art of weaving and threads.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
To the dead, when she bids farewell, she casts this slate into the fire. At this time, something drizzles down the slate.
Before people pass away, I write down these poems.
That is the limit of the girl's answer. As time goes by, she finally opens her petal-veiled heart. And the reason behind her reluctance to show her work is it seems the girl once also loved to imagine with effort. It was a pair of arch-enemies who gained fame in the war. One of them burst into laughter after reading the girl's poetic words. She did not write poetry as a pastime. It is said that she left great works. I still found her weakness after many twists and turns. She is heartbreaking and enchanting. She is the fingertips of death and the ghost of love and poetry. However, those poems have brought her many complaints. The poems that her hands composed all lack an ending of any kind.
This is truly difficult to write.
The girl excuses herself.
My duty is to lead the living to the end. I cannot think of a fitting end for a poem to the dead.
Such is the epitome of lies. One who's grown used to death remains inexperienced with farewells. Therefore, I extend her an invitation.
What she brings is not only death. Apart from death, there is something else that is worth remembering.
That is the journey she walked. The two girls frolicked in the wheat fields, fleet as doe deer, making ripples in the shallow puddles, and as dusk approaches, the exhausted girls collapse over the wheat heaps.
Oh, Sky, slow your closing gaze.
On that day, the breeze was warm and gentle. At that time, death was soft and fair. The broken-winged butterfly falls by the window, bringing with it a scent of melancholy. The girl looks outside. The golden wheat fields rolled endlessly, stretching to the horizon. Holding to the chair, she tries to stand, only to find her legs trembling and feeble.
Don't worry, Alexia.
Her older sister whispers beside her ear, and on her sister's shoulder, the girl weeps mournfully. And time thus becomes silent, painted with sighs only. When hearing the healer's diagnosis, the girl remained deathly still. Her eyes were already drained of tears, and her heart a wilted grave.
Every time she has something on her mind, she would tilt her head and look outside.
Her sister follows her gaze, seeing a barren field turned by a wind into a desolate gray expanse. Till one day, when the girl looks outside, she sees a dash of dark blue, most brave.
It's a flower my sister planted.
Like the torrential river of life, it pours into the depths of her heart. The flower is called Antilla. Even in the Netherland, it's rumored to thrive.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
That seems to be its floriography. When the days are warm, the sister would take the girl on long journeys, through the flower fields, gazing upon rivers, napping amongst the grove. A discussion hearty.
After I die, I want to become an Antilla flower and become the quietness in your soul.
A thoughtless word from the girl gains her a wrapping on her forehead most dainty.
Do not speak of dusk when you have yet to see the dawn.
Dew drops from the petals as wind pulls on the leaves, and the two of them sit in quietude. The girl asks for the means to tend the garden, and while her sister sounds concerned, her heart is relieved. But the concern is well-founded. The girl tripped and fell into a mire. She gazed directly into the eyes of death, in that dark pool bottom unperceived.
I've been the weight upon my sister's wings. Let this be where it all comes to rest.
The girl gives up her struggles, only to see a figure pierce through the water's surface.
I won't allow you to walk through the dusk alone, or enter the night of no reprieve.
Her sister sobs without end, and the girl has to gently hug her and softly relieve. And then, this distant memory turns bleary, difficult to retrieve. The river of souls flows to the other side, wrapped in the land's night, broad, slow, an eternal and silent sight. It belongs to all in this world that has life, all of which flows downstream, converging as one. The master of the nether realm, Thanatos, enshrouds themselves and the souls within the moon cocoon. The dragon, born from the cocoon, carries the girl, soaring upstream the river of souls, defying its eternal flow. Their connection flows tighter than blood, and the key that opens the netherworld's gates is the sisters' selfish plight. Back then, the boreal winds cut through to the bone. Back then, death was a bitter and stabbing fright. In the Netherrealm, without an earth or sky, a flower named Antilla blooms, its beauty witnessed by but one soul.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
The younger sister scores through the blooming Antilla fields, never finding that promised dark blue sprig. She silently made up her mind.
Death, leave all your dark nights to me, and save the dawns for her.
The younger sister gazes at the moon cocoon high above and plans a trip to the mortal realm, a distant flurry. A bard once sung to musical notes.
Do not turn back. Oh, do not turn back. The long hand of shadow will retain the dead behind their gates.
The giant dragon born from the moon cocoon willingly offered itself as the enduring barge of the River of Souls.
No need to turn back. Oh, no need to turn back. That price had long been paid for you by someone else.
The dragon lowers its long neck and places the girl on its back. In slumber, she will unknowingly greet the dawn of her rebirth. The dragon flaps its wings in the chilly gloom of the floating dead upstream, ferrying from purity into grime, going from silence into roaring boom. The souls of countless poets flounder past, their distant rhymes endless like foams.
Do not turn back, for to look toward the land of mortals.
In this pale dawn, the sun's first rays light the night ablaze. We know not where these stories arise. They are scattered across the shallows with the waves. The confession the girl made before her departure.
If there is anything for me to leave behind, may it find a soul to remember. This is the ode of my life, and I've already penned my last stroke.
A thief tells a few stories.
The first story is titled, The Golden Apple. It doesn't have to go to the fairest.
That city is named Paphos, where the golden light of Nestia shines. The golden apple tree sits in the city's middle. Only the fairest can pluck its apples. The beauty pageant begins on time, as the fair ones stretch their supple arms, trying to pluck the fruits above their heads. Yet every time the apple comes within reach, a breeze blows the fruit away without a trace. The audience in displeasure disbands, with only one girl left standing there, her features bland. Yet to her surprise she finds her arms full of golden fruits, a harvest grand.
The second story is titled, Trying to Argue? Don't trick yourself, please.
That city is named Idylia, where Circe's roots bury deep and wide. The sophist scholar holds a tortoise aloft, but his theories? Common sense bereft.
Even the best athlete could never catch up to this turtle.
none can overturn him in arguments, and he obtains the champion's crown in merriment. Yet, as he is about to leave...
The third story I will tell is titled, A Competition in Trickery. Who do you think is the Grandmaster?
That city is named Dolos, where even Zagreus was once tricked.
I think the world is a gourd.
In truth, we are all already dead.
With a gust of wind, the girl emerges before the king's face. And when she leaves, she already has the king's promised gold in a pouch. The others are curious as to what lie she raised.
Zagreus can only tell lies. And I am Zagreus. The fourth story is called, You Like Money. Good. But you must pay the price.
That city is called Mythimus, where the sea breeze intoxicates the people with delight. A wealthy penny pincher prays to the Titan.
Please give me the power to turn anything into gold.
With a breeze, the rock in his hand turns to gold. But his joy is fleeting to behold. For with one embrace, his wife turns into coins, scattered on the soil. He howls at Fagusa to retract the blessing, but sees a girl in a hood in passing. The girl laughs hilariously, holding his hand in hers.
Go back and check your vault. Some gold may be missing, but your beloved is right there, waiting.
Cyphera, you took another long journey.
And we want to hear your fun stories!
The girl with the hood dangles her feet in the bath, as 2 coins dance and fly between her fingers.
Basically, I visited 4 places, tricked them to my heart's content, and came back fully rewarded.
The girl pauses her words and looks out the window, as the light above the Titan's shoulder casts her right cheek aglow.
The dawn will never cease, and the thief star wanders in foreign lands. How would you know that I am not lying right now?
In Dolos' suburbs, in a tiny weaving workshop, the silk-weaving old woman busies herself within, as her smart child wanders outside on a whim. The silk pours from the loom, some bright as the dawn, some dark as the night. The woman had lived her whole life in poverty, yet through her business, she never deceives.
Good child, listen to me. Never lie and speak deceit, for people like you only do to honesty.
The girl smiles and nods, but her heart is drawn to the boundless desires of the bustling streets. And the grandmother is unaware that her handmade white dress has been stained by the mud of conceit.
Madam, what is a bundle of white silk's price?
Sir, only 2,000 balance coins.
An honest price tag can only meager profit obtain.
If we keep selling cloth like this, we'll stay poor for the rest of our lives!
The girl complains to her grandmother, while sprouting countless plots and petty tricks. The woman smiles and does not reply, only weaving with night-shaded silk a suave hooded robe for her little spark.
Why don't you take some of our goods and go into the city tomorrow to try out those pranks?
The mesmerizing money charm of Dolos City turns minds and tongues into a whirlwind of confusion. Even the girl who prided herself on sharp ears and a clever tongue could not contend with the myriad shifting face before her. She returns penniless and furiously seethes.
I vow to the god of thieves that I will eventually empty those people's pockets.
Smiling, her grandmother stops her silk work and offers some dinner with humble dish.
Silly child, don't let Titans hear such vows and promises.
Yet, when the moon rises, a magnificent pin graces the old lady's pale locks. The girl smiles at the old woman, now stunned in shock.
I actually did return with some catch.
The brilliance adorning her white hair drew all eyes. The bet that the girl won with a brilliant trick. The old woman in her panic shouldered the blame, confirming a sin that was but a fabrication.
By Dolos's laws, we must also execute all her family!
To protect the girl, the old woman reveals the final secret unseen.
She's not my family, but just an orphan picked from the street on a whim.
People thought this to be a lie, but the girl knows that her grandmother cannot deceive. Just
your parents went to a city-state far away.
The girl...
Stop! Stop right there, you thief!
Run! Run as fast as you can! Cyphera!
The lies overthrow the shop and tear apart the good woman's good name, leaving the girl with guilt and grief. The hearth of her home was a lie, doused by another conceit. But if her sleight of hand had better skill, would it have made that fire burn forever? The girl pulls down the hood and sinks into the starless dark.
I vow to the god of thieves.
And from that day, she never left empty-handed, her words woven with deceit. However, back then, the girl did not realize that the people did not covet one simple pin, but the golden blood flowing beneath her skin. If every single scar equals a coin, then the girl, always pursued, would be worth her weight in gold. Deception, theft, and night heists. The girl clutches meager loot to her chest.
If we're head-on, I definitely win next time.
Yet the coin in the air always suddenly disappears. Day and night flow, and the thief's star makes circles across the sky, while time molds the girl into an adult. The cloak, once used to conceal her entire body, now only suffices as a hood.
No matter. These days, I have no need to hide.
And at curtain fall hour, those treasure-seeking steps fade. What is the art of thieving?
Stealing from the poor. Not enough loot. Stealing from the rich. That's a boring task to boot.
The girl narrows her eyes of greed to the golden vines of the sages' homes, the sacred carcass of the deathward realm. The girl knows not the treasure's origins, only that they are all valuable beyond measure.
To have something priceless is the true art of thieving.
A pity that deceits are all eventually revealed, and the thief meets a rare defeat. A golden thread discerns her meticulous disguise, and the heroes hold down her third hand.
I take defeat with my head held high. Spare me your sympathy.
So the Chrysos heir outside the cage smiles sweet.
Would you like to see my most precious?
A treasure bright?
impress, like the beauty god Nestia's divine body. More blinding than the sun, rivaling the moon in its glory.
It is woven by divine threads. It captivates even the gods. But all the lies and deceit are revealed under the golden thread's query.
The world-famous thief is stirred by such grand words into a flurry.
Then just you watch. This wondrous dress will forever remain in my own gallery.
This is an age of ruin. The Chrysos War ignites once more. This is also an age of splendor.
Every one of them deceives gods and men alike, righteous and valiant. The core flame of trickery is near. If now isn't the time to risk it all, then when?
The prophecy reveals the Titan's trail. The young girl flashed a grin.
I once vowed to the god of thieves that I would force trickery to reap what they have sown.
The Titan whispered from the vortex. The god of trickery's earnest plea. They made a promise to the girl who entered the trial, that the whole world would be bathed in light. No more lies and deceit. The young girl recalled the hearth fire of her childhood.
Cyphera, only honesty is well liked.
She pursed her lips.
That does sound like quite the ideal society. Of course I didn't accept. How boring would a world without deception be?
The young girl demonstrated her newly acquired divine power.
The defeated Titan is now not but a wandering soul.
But somewhere far away, a purple spirit thief opened bleary eyes. They had forgotten their previous life as a Titan.
Go! Collect treasure, you greedy little grape!
In the days spent away from Akuma, the girl grew accustomed to traveling alone. In a certain city, she heard of a spirit thief. Rumors aplenty.
I, Bartolo's master thief, shall take all you've labored to gain.
So saying, the spirit thief steals the girl's coin pouch and fled without a trace. But a gust of wind brushed past, and the girl had already caught them.
Running for it? Your life was saved by my trickery, you know.
The old god and the new finally reunite. The two rivals who, from that moment on, became thieves and companions both. It's just that the spirit thief's companion was always scaring them.
Hey, the fish in the River of Souls are starving, you know.
A thief reveals a few lies.
The first lie is called, "Fellow thieves, come on and deceive gods with..."
The world has already forgotten that feast. 300 thieves shackled in imprisonment.
To have managed to trick the Grand Master of all tricks.
I can die happy now.
This was Dolos's great achievement. The deception of the gods, where even Zagreus was fooled.
The second lie is called, "The god of trickery is now not but a wandering soul."
Why did she spare the Titan's life? Was it greed for the treasure they promised?
It's because you're every bit as despicable as I am. It's such a relief not having to deal with the noble.
The girl dismissed and made light of herself.
The
fifth lie is called... Oh, eternal day! Endlessly illuminate the holy city.
At Dawncloud, the chaplain's secrets foretold the coming of that endless night.
What if my lies are more sophisticated? Can the dawn last forever? No.
Bearing the fate of the Thief Star, the girl was long used to walking in shadow. But as she gazed towards the holy city's dawn, her duty became fixed in her heart, stalwart in might.
The fourth lie is called...
There's no reason! I just don't want to see you again!
The girl tried to mask her nonchalance, but could never fool the Golden Thread's questions. But it is the false-hearted malice that most powerfully forces belief. A true Flame Chase hero willingly faded from attention. She used divine power to forge a mask and conceal the last of her true heart.
The fifth lie is called... No. There are... no more... lies... left.
The whimsical coin fell to the ground, telling the tale of fate fulfilled. Travels unwitnessed, roses unknown. To whom may these now be told?
Lies are always but lies, but you can make them more beautiful than the truth.
Under the somber sky, golden blood soaked the thief's cloak. Like a golden thread tailored just for her, an exquisite robe that she never stole.
Darkness